everyone, my name is Lucy and today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 books that I read this year and one series. So the first book I'm going to talk about is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, which I listened to on audiobook, and the audiobook was brilliant. So this is the book that the movie was based on, and basically there are companies that are trying to perfect using DNA and some that are trying to bring back dinosaurs. One succeeds and they make a theme park, which is not a good idea. And then you have the experts, so there are 2 archaeologists, a mathematician, like the director of the company, and I think someone else, and they all go to the theme park and stuff happens. There's also, well, I don't want to give too many spoilers in case you haven't seen the film. It is similar to the film, but this is like very science heavy. If you like biology, if you like science, then you will probably like this. Really enjoy it. I like biology, so I find things about genetics quite interesting. So, and also I like reading about dinosaurs, I've discovered this year. So I really did enjoy this book. It was slow to start, but by the end it was just a great time, and there was a cliffhanger, so I'm excited to read the next book, which I will probably read next year. So the next book is another dinosaur book, the last one on this list, I promise, and that is The Extinction Trials by S.M. Wilson. So the author did send this to me off of my wish list, but I will give an honest opinion because I did read the whole trilogy and this was my favourite book in the trilogy. I didn't enjoy the other 2 books as much, so I will leave my reviews from my blog about these books below. And this book is really unique. So it's set in a world where there are 2 continents, one where the humans live and one where dinosaurs live. And the human continent is overcrowded and they don't have many resources. The food they eat is like a gruel, so they don't really have much. And every year they do this thing called the Extinction Trials, and the winners go to the dinosaur continent and collect resources. A lot of them don't survive because it's very dangerous. And this year they decide that they are going to send people to find dinosaur eggs so they can kill the dinosaurs and live on the dinosaur continent. So they decide to collect dinosaurs from 3 different predators. So one was a T-Rex, one was a Velociraptor, and I can't remember what the other one was. And the main character is a teenage girl who has no family. Her mother died when she was young and she didn't know who her father was. And she was actually saved by a plesiosaur in a lake. So she is now friends with this dinosaur, and everyone sees dinosaurs as really dangerous, and I don't think many people actually know that there is a dinosaur living by the human continent. And so this book was brilliant. I love this book so much. So it was really scary in parts, like the megalodon. I will show you the map, but the megalodon, that terrified me. I got a bit scared of the sea for a while. So this is the map. It's really cool, and it's Pyloria, that is the dinosaur continent. And there is also another male teenager that goes to the continent for a different reason. So if you succeed, the government give you and your family healthcare and food, like enough food. The other main character, Lincoln. So Lincoln enters the competition so that he can help his family. There is also an illness that is spreading and they don't know how to cure it, but his sister has the illness, so he wants her to get healthcare so she will hopefully get better. And there's some other characters as well. You end up with groups and they're competing against each other. So even after they do the Extinction Trials bit where they do like some different like physical activities, and then they get who gets chosen, then they're still competing against each other. And there's this one man that is very vicious. So yeah, this book is quite brutal. No one is safe, but it was really interesting to see all of the dinosaurs on the island and how the humans reacted and tried to work out how to survive on the island. So it was really interesting, and I would really recommend this if you are interested in dinosaurs. And the next book is A Pinch of Magic by Michelle Harrison. I love this book so much. So this is the first middle grade book that I've read in quite a while. It's a middle grade fantasy, and it focuses on 3 sisters who find out that there is a family curse, and each sister gets a magical object that only they can use. And the curse is that any female in this family that tries to leave this island will die by sunset, I think it is, on the following day. And it just so happens that these girls end up in this situation, and there is a villain as well, and it was a bit scary in parts, even though it was a middle grade, and it was really whimsical, and it focused on family and sisterhood, and it was lovely. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. And there was an element in the plot that I really love in books, which I won't tell you because it will spoil it, but I just really enjoyed it, and I would really, really recommend this one. I've picked up the sequel, which is A Sprinkle of Sorcery, that I'm hoping to read soon, because this book was amazing, and I'm hoping the sequel is just as good. The next book is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Macquarie. So this is a picture book with quotes. It does have a story, but you can read it in any order, and it follows a boy who meets a mole, a fox and a horse, and it just has a load of positive quotes about life and mental health, and yeah, it's just amazing, and I found it quite emotional. I think this is a brilliant book, and I would recommend it for anyone. If you suffer with mental health, you might find this book quite comforting but also emotional, and I would just show you a little bit of it. There are some quotes in here that I really love, so it's just stunning, and I would really recommend this book as well to everyone. The next book is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. This is a YA fantasy that follows a girl that lives in a library. She was orphaned at a young age, and she's grown up in the library, and in this world there are magical books called grimoires, and if these books are damaged they become monsters and they terrorise everyone around. So there are wardens who work in the library, and their job is to protect these grimoires and to destroy them if they do come to life. And in this world there are wizards and demons. So Elizabeth, the main character, has grown up to think that warlocks are evil and demons are evil, and then she ends up meeting a warlock and a demon, but she doesn't realise at first that one of them is a demon. And a friendship and a possible romance ensue, and there's a really cute romance, and it is a slow build one, which was really nice, and there's a really good friendship in it. So the main character doesn't possess magic herself, but she's a really strong main character, and something happens at the beginning that means that she has to go on a journey, and there's a villain and an evil plan, and it's really good. I really love this book so much, and I was sad when it finished. It's just a standalone, but I would really recommend it if you like YA fantasy, if you like cute romance and magic and friendship. I think you would really enjoy this book. It was a bit emotional towards the end, but it was really good. And the last book is actually a series I'm going to talk about, and that is Parasite, which I read volumes 5 to 10 this year, and this is a horror manga. It's set in Japan, and these alien creatures just fall from the sky one night, and they try to kill people and take over their bodies. But one of them does not succeed, and he ends up living in this main character's hand. And these aliens are programmed to kill humans and to take them over, and this one that ends up living in this boy's hand changes because he's influenced by the boy that he is living with. So he wants to just kill people, but the boy kind of changes him a bit, and he introduces a different way for him to live, and it's really interesting, and they have to kind of work together to protect themselves against these other creatures. And also when the police find out that something's going on, they have to try and hide who they are, because if they get captured then they're probably going to get experimented on. So it's a really good series. The friendship between the creature and the boy is really interesting, because they're two completely different species and they have different ideals, but they end up changing together, and it is a bit gruesome in parts, but I thought that it was a very good story. It was developed really well. A bit of romance in it, but it's not very heavy. And yeah, it was just a very good manga series that I read quite quickly. So those are all of my favourite books that I read this year. Please let me know the books that you read this year that you loved, and if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. And I will hopefully see you in another video soon. I have left all of my links down below, so please like, comment, subscribe if you would like to, and click the bell icon if you would like to be notified of any future videos from me. And I will link videos on the screen at the end if you would like to check them out as well. And I will also be creating my most disappointing reads of the year, so please stay tuned to check that out if you would like to. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye!